Yeah, we actually went through this in detail with some of our security experts internally before I brought this back to this group. So the pain point, I got this so many times on like LCP Slack or another on the WebPerf Slack or in other places. Where was it? And where's my tab with this? Anyway, it's all here. So we're currently zeroing the render time when the LCP image is coarse origin and doesn't have timing allow origin. This, after some analysis, first of all, it was always very confusing to people that sometimes render time is just 0, but it's like obviously should be something, at least load time. And several of the timestamps after load time we already know, like when it's added to the DOM, etc. And we can find that out through mutation observer, etc. The other thing we found is that, first of all, the original security reasoning for this was to avoid exposing the decoding time of cross-origin images. You already can know the loading time with resource timing or with the load event. And you can already know the size of the image because you can know size of cross-origin images. So the idea here was that given that you already have a size and you already have the loading time, if you had the render time, it would give you some additional information about decoding. That was always kind of a weak attack vector, given like an image that you already have those other sizes for. And also we find that when we protect it with timing allow origin, you can piggyback it on the same origin image. You can have the cross origin image, make sure it's loaded, add a very small same origin image, render them at the same time, and you'll have the render time of the same origin image, which will be presented in the same frame if the coding is not asynchronous. So this is a confusing security measure, and it's an ineffective security measure at the same time. Next question was, what can come instead? The thing about render times is that they're a commons. They're not resource specific. They're something that you're measuring the system. And for measuring the system, you can find out things about cross-origin resources, maybe. The protection we have for that is cross-origin isolation, embedder policy, etc., and COEP and CORP. So the same we use for shared array buffers and for other things, for making timestamp coarse in general, etc. So the idea we came up with together with the security folks is that, yeah, we will expose the render times, but they will be coarsened to 4 milliseconds. This should be granular enough to not affect the LCP in a meaningful way if it's wrong, and coarse enough so that it won't give you that much information for decoding, given that you already have the size of the image and the loading time of the image. The delta between that and understanding something from decoding time would be very marginal and very rare that you could actually do anything with 4 millisecond granularity, arguably even without that granularity, given that you're rendering a lot of things and the system is doing a lot of things that can affect rendering. Michael asked me before if this would apply also for the other render times in event timing and first contentful paint, etc. Not yet, but I think in the future we would just make render time mean the same thing everywhere and perhaps also expose it in LOAF. But for now, we're just talking about fixing this particular pain point, seeing that it's stable, and continuing from there with the other things kept in mind. My ask from this group is to kind of ratify this, to see that everybody's happy with where we're going with this. Maybe there's questions, etc. And then we'll have a written proposal. We'll get it actually approved by security folks. We'll have everybody look at it, etc. And implement it and fix it. That's it.